Welcome back to this week's Real Estate Producer Show. I'm Kara, and I'm here with Sunshine Wilhite from Keller Williams and Nicole and Tanis from Hall Financial. Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
So we're so excited to have you on. Sunshine has been in the industry for 12 years now, which is incredible. And you really, and I'm sure that you get these puns all the time, but she really is a bright light to the industry, and just sitting here and talking with her for a little bit is incredible. So we're really excited. So going back, I know that you have 12 years of experience, but how did you get into real estate?
So thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
I was actually recruited when I was selling furniture to go and work on site for a new home builder. So I was born and raised in the South, so I started my career in Alabama, Roll Tide. And don't cut that out. So I was recruited to go work on site for a new home builder. And in Alabama, we have a lot more dirt, a lot more farmland. And so we were developing these huge subdivisions with like 100, 200, 300 homes in some of them. And so I started in the office. All of the incoming leads would come into me. So buyers would call and they would say, hey, we want to buy a house. And I would say, okay, where? And I would talk them through what school district, what area, what part of town do you want to be in? What does your lifestyle look like? You want to be able to walk to the park, or do you want to be able to, hop on the freeway to go to work? And then I would kind of narrow that down and then set them up in the correct community, because we had about 13 to 15 at any given time.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few years, worked my way through a couple of different, moved up to a couple of different builders, bigger builders, more expensive builders, until I eventually started selling, what we know as general real estate or resale real estate, or just the helping people buy and sell homes, which is what most people think of when they think of real estate.
Yeah, and I think something that you said too, I think is really interesting, is that buyers of new construction, I feel like there's kind of a misconception that when you're building a new home, you know exactly what you want, you know exactly where it's going to be, and everyone else is kind of working for you and for that new home. But I think it's awesome to hear that there's actually a huge need for people, not only in Alabama, but in Michigan too. I know this happens where a lot of buyers will need that kind of help for someone like you to have their needs assessed and help them reach their goals. And here, like you said, do you want to be able to walk to a park? What school district do you want to be in? So no matter if you're building a new home or not, I think that's still relevant today. And I think that's really cool that you did that. And I think part of your charm with clients of being able to assess their goals and really walk them through the whole entire process.
Well, and it's the same as, the same in the new construction process. That part of the process is what we call the buyer consultation. So I was doing the buyer consultation then. I do buyer consultations now with all of my clients, and we sit down and we talk through the same things. And sometimes what we find in that conversation is that they do need a new home. If they, want big open floor plans, we're probably not going to get that in a 1930s bungalow. If you want, a great big backyard, you're probably not going to get that in the middle of downtown Birmingham. And so we sit down and we do that needs analysis, and we talk about, what you're looking for, what your goals are, what your budget is, where you want to be, and narrow that down. And, for me, that's easy for me to do. It's what I do literally every day. But if you're especially a first-time home buyer, if it's your first time in the market, I mean, you may have no idea that you can literally go 10 minutes down the road to Bloomfield and get a yard that's 3 times the size as the yard you're going to get in Birmingham. And maybe that's really important to you because you just got a new puppy.
Yeah,
and you would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
So real quick, just kind of off topic, we have a cute little picture of Little Miss Sunshine. Is very Little Miss Busy as well, because she also has a cute little boy. Aww. And we're just wondering, are you raising him to be a professional baseball player? Do you want him to follow in your footsteps as a realtor?
It's funny that you ask. So as the caption says, life goal achieved. I became a baseball mom. I was very excited about that. I don't know that Maddox was very excited about baseball.
He'll get there.
Yes, but I would say that I am raising a natural negotiator, and last night is a great example. So last night I was getting ready to put him to bed, and he said, "Mommy, can I sleep in your bed?" And I'm like, "No, buddy, you need to go sleep in your bed." And he said, "But Mommy, it's your last week to have a 5-year-old baby." And so obviously he slept in my bed last night.
No.
Salesman already.
Right. It's
He
just like-
positioned that perfectly.
Yes.
He
and
knew what he needed, and he
his-
positioned it perfectly. I love it.
He's super cute.
Absolutely. His
Yes.
birthday is Thursday, and he will be 6, which sounds so big.
Well,
That
happy
is-
birthday to Maddox and
Yeah,
Sunshine.
happy
It's also
birthday.
her birthday next
And
Thursday.
it will also be my birthday.
Yes, I love
So,
it.
so Sunshine is from Alabama. She's from the South, and you bring a lot of Southern hospitality here. So we want to read one of your reviews. Sunshine was fantastic. She found us a great house and even made the process fun. She's willing to meet anytime at any place, which was great due to our chaotic schedule. In my opinion, there's no better realtor out there than her. So how do you, in this market, because it's crazy, we all know that.
It is
How
crazy.
do you keep things fun and light for your clients?
So going back to that buyer consultation that we were talking about, one of the things that I think is so important to set the expectation right then is, Kara, I am so excited to help you find your home. We are going to, find you exactly what you're looking for, 3-bedroom, whatever the, specifics are. And here's what we're not going to do. We are not getting emotionally attached, girl, until we are past the appraisal. And let me tell you what that looks like. And so I tell them up front, we may have to write several offers. There are people out there with boatloads of cash. I don't know where it's coming from, girl. If I can find out, I'll get us both some. But they are paying crazy, crazy prices, and I'm not going to let you do that because that's not a smart financial move for you where you are in your life right now. The sidebar to that is, when I have clients that are coming to me looking for their forever home, maybe we are paying over appraised value. Maybe we are, giving a large appraisal waiver. Maybe we, are waiving inspections because I know that Mr. and Mrs. Buyer are going to they're planning to do a $75,000 remodel. So if a few things pop up on the home inspection, not a big deal. But if I know this is a first time home buyer, like, we're not doing that. It's just not a smart thing to do in your very first home. And so I tell them that up front. Like, we're going to have to look at a lot of houses. We may have to write several offers, but I'm not going to let you give the farm away because it's just not smart to do right now.
Yeah.
And so what we're not going to do is we're not going to get emotionally attached to this house until after the appraisal. So we're going to have the home inspection and we're going in objective. This is a business deal still.
Yes.
We're going to go negotiate that inspection, and then we are moving on to your appraisal. And when that appraisal comes back and that inspection comes back and we are all good to go, girl, we will pop champagne and it will be
I
fun.
love it. I
Not
love
sweet
it.
tea,
not-
not sweet
So
tea,
how-
champagne.
Yeah.
Yes, with vodka in it. Because this
So-
market is crazy.
Yes, and it sounds like the biggest thing out of that is just setting the expectations, and I think the way that you especially do it for first-time home buyers, or like you said, if it's someone buying their forever home, is you're doing it in a way that you're setting that expectation without being discouraging, which I think is huge and still adds to the fun piece of it. But I'm curious to know, so if I'm, again, going off of the first-time home buyer, if I'm walking through a house and this is like my third one, I put on or a third offer, I wanted to put it off on a home, and I'm already kind of planning things out. How are you like kind of reeling a client is that might be get emotionally attached? If I'm saying like Fluffy can run around in the
Yes.
backyard, or whatever it may be, or like I'm gonna put the bar cart right there, whatever it is. Like is that the signs that you're looking for of like, okay, we might be getting a little emotionally attached, let's kind of
Yes.
step back? Or like when you say, like, how do you know if a client's getting emotionally attached?
So in the old school rules of selling, like if you go back and listen to like Floyd Wickman CDs,
Yeah.
the like OGs of teaching how to sell, those things that you were saying, oh, the dog in the backyard, oh, the bar cart, those are buying signals. And that tells me that like, this is the one, like you want to put a ring on it. You're excited. And so because I am just kind of like a funny, silly, sarcastic person, I will just literally tell you to dial it in. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Our bar cart may not go there, girl.
Yeah.
Like just relax.
Fluffy's staying
we
where
will
she's
we will
at.
find a spot for your bar cart.
Yes.
It might be there, but it hasn't appraised yet. And I always go all the way to the appraisal because in the home buying process, inspection happens first, appraisal happens second. Once the appraisal happens, we're pretty much like good to go. And so I just keep reminding
Yes.
that it's that, it's that appraisal. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. And I mean, it doesn't always work, you know.
Yeah.
Some people get really, really excited, and you know, sometimes it checks all of your boxes, and the boxes that you didn't even know that were there, and you
Yeah.
get really excited, and then you get beat out by a cash offer that's $100,000 over asking. And I just tried to remind you that
Yeah.
this house is not worth that.
Sticking with it.
Yes,
I like
this
it.
house
Sticking
is
to
not.
your,
Yes,
yeah.
like this house is not worth that. Like
Yeah,
it is
and-
not. Even if you love it, I promise you, it will cost
Yeah.
us a lot less money to paint the next house blue than it is to sell you this blue house $100,000 over value.
I love it.
Yeah, and speaking to that, very similar. We know that you do a great job at marketing yourself and your clients' homes. Do you have any type of tips as far as staging a home to, have it be more attractive to buyers?
Yes. So similar to the buyer consultation, obviously we have seller consultation. Sometimes we call that a listing appointment. Sometimes you have both. Sometimes you go on a listing appointment and then you have like a selling consultation. But when we are getting a property ready to go on the market, the top three things are declutter and then declutter again. So declutter as much as you think that you need to declutter, and then go back and do it again. Take away 50% more than you thought that you needed to the first time, because the way we sell is not the way that we live, and you're moving anyway. So go ahead and start packing. We are believing that after yesterday that the snow is gone. Pack your winter clothes away. Make those closets look
Yes.
like they have more space in them. Get a pod, get a storage unit, put it in the garage. Nobody cares if your garage is packed full of stuff. They understand that you're moving. So declutter, depersonalize. Take all the pictures of Fluffy off the wall. You do not need all of those stuffed animals and dolls. You don't need them. You can put them away. And then get it really, 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 really clean. And in this market, those three things are most important. And then we go in with more neutral artwork, some solid color pillows and throws to kind of bring in some more modern elements, pops of color, things like that. And that's kind of what we're doing right now to get properties ready to go on the market so that they're depersonalized enough that these buyers can see it as this is going to be ours.
I love that you said declutter again, because I think that's huge. And even like personally, I can experience that of just going through my closet once, and then a couple weeks later, I'm like, wait, why did I give that away? You never know. So I love that you said declutter once, and I think that people can comprehend that, but it's like, no, declutter again as well. Lastly, I know, going back to your experience of your 12 years of experience in the industry, tell us a little bit about your career highlights, or maybe a couple highlights that you're doing right now. I know you're involved in a couple different initiatives, so kind of talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So when I first started, I was so lucky to have the best coaching, the best training, the best mentors, people who had, gone before that had been doing it, some of them longer than I had even been alive, because being in the business for 12 years, I started when I was 22. And it was, I was super young. I had never really had like a real job. I sold furniture for like 6 months. Before that, I was, bartending. I'd never had like a grown up in the office job.
Yeah.
So I had these amazing coaches and trainers and mentors that helped me and that poured into me, and, that made sure that I had all of the tools that I needed to sound confident. I'd never bought a house before. I sold somebody a house. I was like, these people aren't going to listen to me. Like, I have a $500,000 house. Why are they going to let me sell it? Because I sounded like I knew what I was doing, because, people poured into me. And so that became, in the last probably 3 to 4 years, that became really important to me, to give back, to teach, to coach, to speak. And again, the sarcastic, silly sense of humor, it makes me a good trainer because it's not dry. People want to listen to it. And
it's genuine.
Yes, I can explain something very dry and boring like a buyer consultation, because they're not sexy. They're not. But I can explain the pieces of a buyer consultation and throw some jokes in there and, hopefully help some other people. Like, so many people helped me. And, I was lucky enough 2 years ago to be able to launch the Keller Williams Young Professionals Network here in Detroit.
Nice.
Excuse me. So that was a really cool experience. And this year, I was chosen to be part of the GMAR YPN, which is the Greater Metropolitan Realtor Association Young Professionals Network, to be part of their committee and help with that and help with the events. And I am also leading the Women's Council of Realtors Livingston. I'm the president of that network. And
So not
we're in-
busy at all.
No,
you
not
don't.
busy
You have
at
a
all.
lot of free time.
Not busy at all.
That's
Lots
awesome.
of eating bonbons, mimosas on a Tuesday.
Exactly, exactly. Well, that is incredible. I know that you have so much to offer, and I think that it's so nice to hear that you have taken not only what you've learned in all of your experience, but you're really giving that back. And I know that you truly give that back to your clients as well. So we appreciate it, and I know they do too. And we appreciate you being on here today too. You are such a light, like
Thank
I
you,
said,
Sunshine.
and we have so much to learn from you. So thank you so much. And as always, like and subscribe.